Canada might seem like a dream destination, but not every part of the country offers a great quality of life. Some places struggle with issues like rising crime, poor services, or tough living conditions. And in this video, we're exposing 10 of the worst places to live in Canada. Let's see what we have here. 10. Hamilton, Ontario. Hamilton has a good industrial past, and as a result, the city has a unique urban pulse. But this past also brings some challenges. Hamilton is traditionally an iron and steel producing centre, and therefore has job opportunities, but it also changes air quality and scenic views in some parts. Picture a skyline with smokestacks. This isn't appealing to everyone. The air isn't always clean, which could be a downside if you enjoy clear skies. Traffic is another common complaint. With an increase in urban population, the roads get more and more congested, and the city's infrastructure is put under strain. Driving around often feels like you're stuck in a never-ending jam. Gentrification is also happening quickly. Property prices are going up, pushing out long-time residents. Living is becoming more expensive, and it's hard to find a place to live. Some downtown areas also face issues like homelessness and addiction, which add complexity to city life. Finally, there's a gender gap problem. Research revealed that Hamilton is one of the poorest cities in Canada for women in regard to income, education, health, and safety. For women's earnings, the rates are only 74% that of men, and women have a lower employment rate than the national average. 9. Sudbury, Ontario. Sudbury, often called the nickel capital of the world, has long relied on mining for its economy. During the same period, job opportunities are being created. Environmental problems are also born. The site was formerly extremely deforested by acid rain caused by smelting. In spite of the attempts to recover the landscape, the remains of the industrial aggression are still evident, which gives this area a post-apocalyptic appearance. When staying in Sudbury, the weather is also another factor that contributes to considering living there. Winters are typically cold and long, with temperatures below freezing most of the time. If snow and ice are not your cup of tea, however, Sudbury's weather may be too harsh for your liking. Sudbury also faces economic struggles. Mining generates employment, but the cycle of growth and bust in the industry is inconsistent, and job security is problematic. When mining suffers, the local economy does too. Diversification has yet to progress, leaving the local population vulnerable to this volatile industry. Social issues also affect the city, with high rates of substance abuse and mental health problems. For lack of healthcare services, long treatment queues are the norm. 8. Regina, Saskatchewan. Regina, the capital city of Saskatchewan, is beautiful with significant challenges. One issue is the crime rate. Recently, Regina has been hit with a series of crimes, including break-ins, car theft, and street robberies, a troubling issue for the populace. The weather in Regina is another downside. Winters are very cold, and summers are very hot. There also are risks of summer flooding in certain areas due to rivers and creeks. Getting to and from Regina can be inconvenient. There are no flights with airline routes to and from the city's major airports, which poses a serious challenge to frequent travelers. Towns and neighborhoods within the city, in particular those in North Central and the east sections of downtown, are some of the most economically disadvantaged in Canada. More or less, 30% of the population are dependent on social aid, and these communities bear heavy social and economic burdens. The situation, however, is that there continue to be community-driven initiatives to address these issues. 7. Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Saskatoon, another large city in Saskatchewan, has similar challenges as Regina. It is high in crime, with violence against persons and burglary being frequent. Saskatoon's weather is equally harsh, including an extreme cold winter and a hot summer that is common to the Canadian prairies. The city is also beset by poverty and housing conditions, in that there are pockets in the city at high poverty levels, and subsidized housing remains unattainable. Although solutions are underway in the city, the pace of improvement has been slow. Despite these challenges, Saskatoon has a strong sense of community and cultural diversity. A large number of the residents have pride in their municipality and cooperate to improve it. 6. Winnipeg, Manitoba. Winnipeg is a city with a vibrant culture and an ethnically rich population, but a number of challenges remain. The crime rate is one of the biggest problems. Winnipeg is frequently cited for high rates of violent crime and, as such, is considered to be among the most dangerous cities in Canada. A lot of the crime is drug-related, and there is battery. This frightens residents and leads some to consider moving out. The winters in Winnipeg are another struggle. Temperatures can go much below 20 degrees, and wind makes it feel even. However, the icy long winters are brutal and not the kind that someone likes to spend outdoors. Summer mosquitoes can make you long for winter again. Economically, Winnipeg has its ups and downs. Although there are jobs, poverty and unemployment are issues as well. The steep cost of living, inadequate roads, and unreliable public transit do not make daily life any easier. Discrimination and racism are also problems and make people feel unsafe. 5. Thunder Bay, Ontario. Thunder Bay in northwestern Ontario is a challenging place to live due to a number of extant challenges that can complicate and make living in the area challenging. One of the main issues is the high crime rate, especially violent crimes. The city has one of the worst murder rates in Canada, a result of drugs and gangs. This violence contributes to the city's negative image. The economy in Thunder Bay is struggling too. Fields such as forestry and manufacturing have been depopulated, resulting in unemployment. The unemployment rate is above the norm, and it is difficult for a lot of people to get a living wage. Even if the cost of living is less than in a larger city, it can still be troublesome without paid work. Thunder Bay is also isolated, far from major cities, which can make residents feel cut off. The crippling winter with lots of snowfall and frigid temperatures adds a burden to living. Racism and discrimination, especially towards the Indigenous population, create social tension. Problems continue to be a feature of the community, even with attempts to ameliorate them. 4. Prince George, BC. Prince George, often called the northern capital of BC, sounds fancy, but it has its challenges. In 2012, Money Sense magazine ranked it as one of the worst places to live in Canada, coming in at 156 out of 190 communities. This ranking considered factors like weather, crime rates, and access to amenities. Crime is a big issue in Prince George. It was called the most dangerous city in Canada by Maclean's magazine in 2010. The municipality has the problem of the high crime rates of violent crimes, which is having a negative impact on the attractiveness of the municipality for those wishing to move there. The weather isn't great either. Winters can be harsh, and if you're not a fan of snow, it might not be the place for you. However, if you enjoy outdoor activities, the nearby nature could be a plus. Just be ready for a tough and rugged environment. 3. Red Deer, Alberta. In Red Deer, Alberta, between Calgary and Edmonton, it may appear to be a bonus location, but that is not without its problems. The economy has been affected by changes in the oil industry, leading to higher unemployment rates than in other areas. This makes finding steady work tough for many. The city also lacks cultural and recreational activities. If you want a dynamic art ecosystem or lots of entertainment, there may be nothing to see here. Crime, in particular property crime, has been a problem that has raised concerns among some of the residents. The weather isn't much better. Winters are freezing and very long, and if you don't like to wear many layers, you probably want to see some nice, sunny weather. But if you are into hockey and winter sports, you will surely feel comfortable. 2. Chilliwack, BC. In 2023, Chilliwack had the third worst crime rate in Canada. Its Crime Severity Index, CSI, was the second highest in census metropolitan areas. and the overall crime rate was the third highest in the country. The CSI measures both the number and seriousness of crimes, and Chilliwack's score reached 156.25, an increase from the previous year. For comparison, Kamloops had the highest CSI at 165.7. If you're considering moving to Chilliwack, it might be a good idea to keep your belongings secure and think about investing in a reliable security system. When it comes to murders, Chilliwack ranked third for the highest murder rate in Canada in 2023, with 6 homicides recorded. This was a substantial increase from 3 murders in 2022, wherein the increase is almost 94% in the same year. The murder rate stood at 4.77 per 100,000 people, coming in behind Thunder Bay and Winnipeg. 1 Kamloops. Crime Severity Index, CSI data for 2024, have made Kamloops notorious in Canada as the most deadly city. With a CSI of 165.7, the city is in the midst of a dangerous crime situation. In 2023, there were 13,016 criminal incidents per 100,000 people, far exceeding the national average of 5,843. The offences include thefts and burglaries, as well as more serious in-person offences such as rape and assault. With Kamloops approaching a population of 100,000 people, the city is facing the usual aches and pains associated with expanding communities. On the lifestyle front, Kamloops may disappoint if you're looking for a vibrant nightlife. Nightlife is not that extensive here, and most businesses shut down poverty early, so after hours, there is not a lot to do. Even the most casual fast food restaurants, such as McDonald's or Subway, even close early or close altogether on Sundays. Public transit is restricted, which means residents have to make use of local taxis because services such as Uber and Lyft are not on the market. For outdoor enthusiasts, Kamloops offers skiing, snowboarding, biking, and water sports, making it an ideal spot for nature lovers. However, if you're not into outdoor activities, the city might feel a bit quiet, especially in terms of entertainment and cultural events. Kamloops battles social problems such as domestic violence, psychopathology, and poverty on a very large scale, creating an environment of high crimes. Due to the limited mental health care and support services in the city, it is difficult to take effective action. IONS. Substance abuse, with the COVID-19 pandemic as a new backdrop, has aggravated the condition. We've come to the end of today's video. Thank you for watching and see you soon.